Hi guys, and welcome back to another video game with Powers. I'm Jake.
I'm Cierra.
And we are officially married!
Yay! Oh.
She was like, yeah, we are officially married, guys. It was
officially the Powers.
Officially the Powers. So thank you for pausing us on our hiatus while we were out. So we are coming back to you guys with a lot of content. We got some boxes over here that we haven't even opened up of games yet, and
my goodness!
And there's still
I didn't even know those were there.
Yeah, and there's still some games that we gotta cover. But I hope you and Undici was holding us over. I know it's got a couple of views, but let's go ahead. Today's video, guys, is gonna be a board game got backed for the month of March. So today, if you have not been following along with our series, guys, basically what it is Cierra is trying to guess what board games I backed on Kickstarter or game found in that particular month. So this will be the month of March. So we have 9 total projects we are going to be looking at today. And out of those 9, I have backed 3 of them.
Okay.
So as always, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the laptop where I got it on my screen. And I'm going to show Cierra some of these projects where I'm going to talk about them. And then she's going to try and guess if I backed it or not. So she's been pretty good at this in the 2 months that we have done this so far. So let's see what we got. All right, so the first one, babe, we are looking at here. This is called the Curse of Candlabria. Okay.
I like the name.
So the Curse of Candlabria is a area control type game, and the theme, so it's an area control type game, right? You are going to have a color and you're going to have a miniature with castles, and you are trying to get control of these different areas. The theme of the game is everybody has been turned into candles, and so it's got some really cool, so like each castle is going to have its own color, and there's 5 different houses. So you got like the Sinus clan, you got a Nova Vita clan, the Saitoris order, and so you got these bunch of different clans with their own specific house, but you have your miniatures and you're basically putting them on the board and trying to gain territories, and you can act different powers. What's cool about it is I like how there's certain miniatures that you can put flames into, and that kind of gives them a little bit more power. But you'll have your own board, you'll have cards, you'll have miniatures, and yeah, basically the game is simple. You're just trying to gain control of the different lands. Also, there's like a curse that you can use it to help fight the enemies against yourself. But this has different modes, I believe. I believe this is, it's not cooperative, it's competitive, and then it also has a solo mode. But the core box for the base game was 89 euros, so probably around like 94, 95 US dollars. And then the deluxe box, which adds the 6-player expansion in the solo mode, was 139. So you're looking probably about 147, 148 euros. But yeah, this is the Curse of Candlabria.
Okay, I think we talked about this one once, but I don't think you backed it because that is pretty expensive for a game.
You are correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so I liked it. I actually did a video about this, like my first impressions of it, because it looked really cool.
It does look cool, but that is a steep price.
You are correct. So what I talked about in the video was that some of the things that I did not like about it was that it reminds me of another game that I have already backed.
Okay.
And basically what so that's kind of what that was. I don't want to spoil, but that one was more, the one that I backed is more of like a Viking theme. And so I'm not going to say the name of it because I don't want to spoil it until we get it. But yeah, so I kind of backed that one, and that one's kind of the same thing. It's an area control type game, and then like you said, the price for $89 excuse me guys, is pretty expensive. And like my worry was,
because you would want to get the solo mode, I think.
I would want to get the solo mode, and I said that was another thing of my hesitation, was I'm essentially paying $145 for a solo mode, and I wasn't quite sure how you would like these types of games. And so that's what I said. I said, since I already backed a game that was very similar to this, I didn't want to back this because that one is not coming till like next month or like early June.
Okay.
So I was like, I wanted to wait to see how she'd like that. And like, if she didn't like it, then basically it's kind of a waste.
Yeah, that's a good point. I haven't played enough area control to know if I like them or not.
Yeah, so, yeah, you are correct. I did not back this game, but this is a Curse of Candlabria. I think the theme is pretty cool.
It sounds cool. It does sound like a cool game.
Yep.
I think price just makes us hesitant at the moment.
Yep.
We just paid for a wedding.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so next up we have Tether, a mirror deck card game about connecting astronauts for 2 players or 2 teams. And so what Tether is you have, it's just a deck of card games, kind of like The Crew. And so, but one side is going to have one number and the other side is going to have the reverse of that number. And so the goal is like it uses a mirror deck, which each card has 2-digit number on it. And when you rotate it 180 degrees, they swap places. And during the game, you're tethering astronauts together if they have consecutive numbers. And so these are all the cards that come in the game, and they had like a deluxe version with double cards. But there's kind of like different scenarios or objectives in the game, but it's like specifically a 2-player game or a 4-player game where you guys are essentially working together to tether these astronauts together. And so that's kind of how it works. You want to do them in horizontal lines. But this was $15 for the standard edition and $20 for the deluxe edition. But this is Tether. What do you think?
I don't think you backed it, but you might have, just because it's, I mean, that's pretty cheap for a game, and it seems like a simple 2-player game. But I don't think you backed it.
You're correct. I did not back this.
2 for 2.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like, we have The Crew, and we really haven't played that. Maybe we should get more into playing that again. But yeah, it was a direct 2-player game, and I think we need to play a lot more 2-player games. But I don't know. This just really didn't appeal to me with the numbers.
It just seems kind of simple, maybe, but maybe I'm missing some of the steps. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, but that is Tether.
I like the name of the publisher.
Yeah, How to Steam Broccoli. All right, moving on to the next one. This is Tentricks. So Tentricks is a fun game for the whole family. This is a board game futuristic take on Tetris. And so basically the year is 2054. And it's a new form of entertainment. And so what's going to happen is each player is going to have their little board, like horizontally, kind of like Tetris. And we are all going to draw. So there's your player board. You're going to have cards and then the actual pieces. And so what is going to happen is you will reveal a card. And then once that card is revealed, everybody will take that piece and you will have to place that piece on your board. And then there's sometimes you can gain effect tokens, which can do different things like either help you or like disrupt your opponent, adding more stuff and different things like that. And then you will end your turn. But yeah, basically it is a board game version of Tetris. So the base pledge was 34 euros. So looking right around 38 to 40 bucks. Or they had, you could get 5 versions of it for 150, but basically, yeah. The just one copy of the game was around $38 to $40. But yeah, this is Tentricks, the futuristic board game version of Tetris.
Okay. I kind of can see you backing this. 1 to 4 players, not long games. I love Tetris, and you know I love Tetris. I think you backed it for me.
You are correct. I actually did back this for you. So she is the master of like puzzly, like tile placement stacking games.
I love those kind of games.
And so I saw this, and again, the price point at really like close to 40 bucks is not bad. So I was like, she'll love the types of games like this. I think this is a cool take on games.
I wonder what those Tentricks pieces are gonna look like. They can make them look really cool.
Yep.
Depending on.
And so, so you are correct. This is Tetris, and I did back it. So you're right.
I'm 3 for 3 right now.
I know. Okay, the next one we have Soul of Ankiril. It's a strategic card game in which players will embrace alchemic forces to summon powerful creatures and challenge on the battlefield. Okay, so I don't remember a whole lot about this one, but I know it's got miniatures, and so it's basically a 2-player. It's a 2 to 4 player game, but it looks really good at 2 players because it's like one person's on one side and the other person's on the other side, and so it's got these cute little animals to it, and then they have like some of these chips. And so what you're gonna do is like you'll choose an element. So like ice, wind, water, fire, whatever, and then you're gonna create your deck, and then you connect the boards together, and then you're basically kind of like battling. You're casting spells and summoning creatures, and then you're gonna deactivate the portals, and that's pretty much how you win the game. And so they had the base game, or they had, what's cool is they had kind of different versions of it, right? So they had a fire and water version. So those are those 2 elements that where one side would be a fire board, the other side you get a water board, and then you get the decks. They had a metal versus wood version, and then I thought there was one more. Yeah, and then they had earth versus air. So you could buy these individually for around like around $40 individually, or you could just get like a slipcase and get them all together for around 84 euros to get all 3 of them. But yeah, this is Soul of Ankiril or Kirill? Yeah. What do you think?
I don't think you backed it, but you might have. This one I could see you backing, but it sounds like that other game by PNG Games.
Piampi?
Yeah, Piampi Games.
Yeah.
So I don't think you backed it, more so because of that.
You're correct. I did not back this. I did not back it because really it looked to me like a one-side battler. And we really don't do very well with those types of games where it's just like...
We don't like to attack each other.
Yeah, and then what also drew me to it is the creating your deck. So it almost reminded me of like Marvel Champions where you're creating your own deck. So that's what kind of drew me away from it. I think the price point was pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad price.
That's not a bad price, but yeah, that's what kind of just drew me away from it. But you're correct.
Yeah, it still looks cool. I like the artwork.
Okay, moving on to the next one. So this is a pack of 3 amazing unique tile laying games. You have Agueda, which is the City of Umbrellas, Color Field, and Donut Shop. Okay, so you had the option to get these individually. So Color Field is going to be around $30 US. Donut Shop was around $34 US, and then Agueda is around $50 US. And so basically Agueda, you're decorating the city streets with colorful umbrellas in this family game. As an artist, you'll need to balance the requests of the city, shops, tourists, and create stunning arrangement of umbrellas. In Color Field, you'll paint your masterpiece. You'll choose paint tiles to add to your canvas as you compose beautiful abstract paintings. And then Donut Shop, as new hires of the local bakery, you have been assigned to work with the hottest selling items, the donuts. You're going to sell your donuts better than all the other employees. And so that's kind of the thing. Let me see. So this is the Agueda City Umbrellas. So it's kind of like a market board with a bank. You have your player boards, and you're trying to put these acrylic umbrellas out all over the place. So very nice, colorful game. You have Color Field, which is basically kind of reminds me of Canvas, where you're trying to put these tiles, these paint tiles on your board to create like a painting. And then you have the Donut Shop, which is another tile laying game where you're trying to lay these tiles down and create sets of donuts that you have there. And so it's very donut-y looking. So
how much is it for all 3?
It was 95. It was 95 for all 3. The umbrella one was 50, the donut was 34, and color field was 30.
Ooh, this is hard. I feel like you maybe backed like one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not all three, but maybe you did all three. Because you know I love tile placement. If I had to guess you backing just one of them, I'd say, or two. Maybe you did donut shop and color field, and you just, I don't know.
What do you think?
Let me look at the names of the other ones. Starting to, I think you backed it.
I actually did not.
Oh, okay.
So I was looking at backing one of them, and it was going to be donut shop. Color field reminded me too much of canvas.
That's why I said donut shop. I was gonna say donut
Yeah.
shop also because we had a donut wall at our wedding.
Yeah. Color field reminded me too much of canvas. Agueda, the city of umbrellas, it looked kind of like a lot. If that makes sense, right? Because there's a bank, you got a market board, you got shop cards, you got your own player board, you got cafe boards.
I was thinking kind of the same.
And so it looked like way too much for a smaller game like that. And then, really, I looked at Donut Shop and I was like, this is a hilarious theme, and it looks very simple. You're just trying to match donuts and like the tile placement. But yeah,
you tricked me on this one.
I actually did not back any of these.
Okay. Darn it.
All right.
No, I've got one wrong.
Moving on to the next one. So on to the next one, we have Earth Cows of Mass Destruction.
What the heck?
So Earth Cows of Mass Destruction is a card game where you are an alien race and you are essentially trying to genetically modify cows in order to destroy the population. And so you are creating different kinds of cows, okay? And so you will pick your alien, your lieutenant, and then there's, so you can make like fire cows, ice cows, laser cyborg cows, methane fume cows, like a C-bomb cow, a mad cow, all these different types of cows that you can have. And so basically it's like you'll have the mothership, you set up the playing area, you take your scientist or whoever you want to be, you research a cow weapon, and then you can recruit or steal alien scientists from other players. You operate the tractor beam to release and inflict mass destruction of these cows. And then you're basically scoring points for how much destruction that you can make. But unfortunately, I actually missed out on the early bird special, which was only $30. But this one was the base pledge, which was $40. And then 2 copies of the game was 68. But so $40 for this very funny, hilarious, like you get a cow cannon, a cow chip landmines.
Yeah, I think you backed this one.
You think I backed this one?
You seem excited, and it's kind of funny.
I actually did not back this. I actually didn't see this until I was actually making this video.
Darn it!
I was like,
you're gonna go back and back it.
I might. I did not back this, but so I don't know. I mean, it seems like a little too silly almost.
It does seem a little silly, but it kind of like
Yeah, it is up to 5 players, so it's kind of funny. But I think the only thing that worried me is there's a lot of take that to it. Because where it says like, so I can steal an alien scientist from you, I can steal your weapon cards, your research cards and stuff like that, which like I guarantee you might come to a point where that might be very useful. And so like, again, we don't like to attack each other. On to the next one, we have Alynthia. So this is a 3-tiered game that can be played solo, it can be played cooperative, or it can be played competitive. And so what you are trying to do is you are trying to build your kingdom and defend your kingdom from a swarm of dragons. And so kind of how it works is you are going to have, let me see if I can scroll down here. So you have different guilds that each do a different thing, like a labor guild, forest guild, field guild, mountain guild, and nomads guilds. And so they're each going to get their own resources and have their own custom thing to it. But I was trying to see where the actual phase is, or like there's like a spot on the board. Maybe that's where you can see. But basically, let me go back up where I was trying to see, because it's like weird, but it's like Here it is. Okay, so basically what you're going to do is you're going to have your own player board, which is kind of like your kingdom, and you're going to have different abilities and things like that. The game board is going to be like tiles, like hex tiles, and then the dragons are going to be like just these cool little purple meeples, and they're going to have their own nests. And so what'll happen is like you'll draw cards, and it'll tell you how many like dragons get spawned out on that round on the area, whatever. And yeah, it's basically you're just building your little kingdom. The dragons, like there's the dragons nests, and so you'll put dragons out, and then if this little thing ever gets to a certain threshold, like then the dragons like expand out onto the board. And so you're basically trying to defend your territory. And so like again, there's a cooperative story, there's a competitive story, and it's also solo, and then you get your resources. But the base pledge was $64 US, and that was pretty much it. But yeah, it's a 1 to 5 players, cooperative, competitive, solo. But this is Alynthia.
Okay, I can see you backing it. I feel like the $64 is a little on the steep side, but it comes with a lot of components, it sounds like, and they looked pretty cool. I think you backed it.
You are right. I did back this, but there's a caveat to it. So I did not actually. So what you can do is with Kickstarter, you can just pledge like $1 that will give you access to the pledge manager. So when the pledge manager changes, I can choose to it. I'm in agreement with you. I'm not sure on this game. I liked it. I liked it enough to put $1 in to see. That way I could get access to the pledge manager and see if I wanted to back it at a later time. I just don't know. What drew me to it is like the different modes to play the game. You have the solo, then we can play it like competitive against each other, or we can play it cooperatively with each other.
Yeah.
And so like it's kind of cool that a game has those 3 different modes. But yeah, I just wasn't sure how you would like, like the building with the kingdoms and all that stuff would work. And then like you said, it's just like it's a little pricey at that,
with a lot of components.
Yeah, with a lot of components.
Is what
yeah, so
I'm
again,
iffy about. It's hit or miss sometimes.
So yeah, so like that's where I was on the fence with this game, but I backed it for $1, so technically I did back it. You're right.
Yeah.
I just haven't. I'm not sure if I want to commit to it just yet. Okay, the next one we have Wanderlust, Discover the World. So this is a player racing game, a set collection / hand management / route building game where you are basically trying to race around the world. Okay, and it does have a solo mode that has been unlocked. So it's kind of like trekking. Except instead of going to different destinations, you are just kind of going around the world. And so, like if route building, set collection, hand management, you're gonna love this game. So it's got your little people, and it's pretty cool because it has. So like that's your little board, so your passport board. So you are racing against the world. There's 6 different characters with their own special abilities. During the course of the game, you'll acquire transport tickets. There's 6 different means of transport. You can car, train, ship, charter flight, airplane, and a wild ticket. And each kind of ticket is necessary to take a corresponding route. So some routes can only be taken by car, by train, etc. And then you get these tickets. There are 68 destinations in the game, each featuring their own unique art. And so you can do different things like visit cities to buy souvenirs, ports to send postcards, and natural wonders you can take photos. But this is basically essentially a racing, travel type game where you are trying to be the first one to collect all these different points. And so the base pledge, I believe, was €53. So probably around $57, $58. But this is Wanderlust, Discover the World.
Okay. I'm gonna give my decision after you show me the other one.
Okay.
Because it's 50.
That's good. That's 50-50. Okay. The last one we have is Reviving Kathmandu. Okay, so Reviving Kathmandu is a game where the earthquake an earthquake has hit the city of Kathmandu, and you are trying to rebuild it. And so this is it's like a bidding and set collection game. So it's a bidding and set collection game. And so what you're going to do is you are going to have like little chips, and you will put your chips down on the outside of these things, and then whoever gets trying to get these cards, and these cards are going to get you points, but you need certain cards because you're essentially trying to build like the buildings back of this city. And so there's certain levels to the buildings, but it's got really great components like a metal first player marker. The board is a neoprene play mat. All of the boards are dual layered, wooden point markers. You get wooden coins. It's got all these different cards to it. And so you can kind of see, where was like how to play? I think it was. Yeah, so this is one. So like you open the market up, so you deal these cards in these 4 different slots, and then you bid. So you target horizontally or vertically, and then you collect the cards that you win, and then you use these cards. You like kind of cool because it's like you can see you stack them on top of each other to build the different buildings. And then once a building is complete, you score it, and you get points for that. And so after 8 rounds, you're kind of like an architect, and the architect with the most points will win the game. And so the deluxe version was $35. So this is Reviving Kathmandu, bid, collect, and build. So Wanderlust, Discover the World, or Reviving Kathmandu.
I'm leaning towards Reviving Kathmandu. This seems cool. We do love our route building games, but we do have a few of them we haven't gotten to play much recently. And this seems like something different or new. Even though we're not huge about bidding against each other, it didn't seem like it's like we're not raising bids against each other. It doesn't look like it's just setting these little coin things. I don't know how that bidding's gonna work, but that's a pretty good price. What was this one again?
53 euros, so probably around 58.
So I think you went with that one.
You're correct. I did. She knows me so well. It's like it's like we're married. You are correct. So my only hesitation with this game was the bidding aspect of the game. But for me, again, like totally out of the box theme than what we've ever had. So that's what drew me to it. The price point of only being $35 for the deluxe version of the game, like I said, you're getting the neoprene playmat, you're getting a metal marker, you're getting dual layer boards, magnetic game box, you're getting wooden coins, like everything is deluxeified for only $35. I was like, man. And like there's the wooden box that you have there. And so it can also be played solo, and it's a 1 to 6 player game. So I thought that like, man, that would be pretty cool to have a cool 1 to 6 player game. You can kind of bid against each other. You stack the cards together to score points. And I do believe actually if you back this, it does actually support you are building a school, and it's based on a real life event, namely an earthquake that hit Kathmandu Valley in 2015. And so we will use our funds to donate $1 to these people. So $1,785 have been donated.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was kind of part of it as well. But yes, I have backed Reviving Kathmandu.
Nice.
All right, guys. Well, that is all 9 of the games that we have there. I hope you guys enjoyed everything, and we're excited to be back, and we got a lot of new content coming, so y'all be on the lookout. We got a giveaway coming up pretty soon, so go ahead and check that out. All right, guys. Y'all have a great one. Bye.
Bye.